Good day, students. For this week, we will be learning about the LM equation. This is in continuation of the ISLM model. And the objective for this discussion is for you to understand the mechanisms of the money market. So we are done with the market for goods and services. We ended with the previous discussion with IS or investment and savings. Now we will move on to the money market or the LM, on which we will be discussing the supply of money, the demand for money, and interest rate. So the name ISLM, it originated from IS, investment and saving, and LM, L meaning money demanded, and M meaning money supply. So if investment must be equals to savings, money demanded must also be equal to money supply. And this model is developed and used by Keynesians. So nasa continuation lang po tayo ngayon ng ISLM. So yung LM po yung focus natin. And since all market transactions involve the exchange of money, the short-run model is suspended to include the money supply. And therefore, the IS is equals to LM in order to get the simultaneous equilibrium, which is denoted by this Y asterisk. The LM curve is a graphical representation by the relationship between output and the real interest rate that clears the asset market. It slopes upward. It is the kabaliktaran ng IS, which slopes downward. The LM slopes upward. And at all points of the LM curve, the money demanded and money supplied must be equal. Okay, so it must be equal, rather. Okay. Now, let's discuss money supply, which can be denoted with a capital M and a hat. So, money supply po yan siya. M can be currency and checking deposits. Currency meaning it can be coins and bills in circulation. So, ito po yung mga pera. Pwedeng barya, pwedeng papel. In circulation in the economy. So, that's currency. And then checking deposits or demand deposits or deposits in the banks that are intended for spending and circulated through the use of checks, which are as good as money. So, yung pong mga cheque, can be it is also part of the money supply, no? Currency and checking deposits are only financial assets included in the transaction of definition of money supply. And the money supply is controlled by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas here in the Philippines. There are 4 players in the money supply process. The players includes Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP, banks, depositors, and borrowers from banks. So, all of these key players are the reasons why there's a process in the money supply, no? Going back to BSP, the BSP monetary system includes conducts of monetary policies, they clear checks, they regulate banks, among others. Now, let's move to demand for money. So, kaganiha, money supply po yun siya, which is denoted by M. And then now, demand for money is denoted as L. Now, the transaction demand for money is represented as LT is equals to the function of Y or LT is equals to KY. And this means that the money held for transaction is positively related to income. So ito po na Y is income and then ito po na LT is money held for transaction. So yung pera na meron, yung hinahawakan na pera na gagamitin for any transaction is positively related to income. So, money is a better store value than financial instruments such as bonds and equities and real assets since the value of the money is unaffected by changes in the rate of interest. Okay, so if there's changes in interest, bonds, equities, and other assets can be affected, while money If 100 pesos yung hawak mo, 100 pesos talaga yan, no? Now, how about the store value function of money? Yung kanina yung transaction value, transaction demand for money po yan. So, ano um, ano yung effect or relationship between the income and the money? And how does money um affect income? So, ingana na lang, no? Kasi si K, later on, we will be discussing KY. Okay. Next, store value function of money. So, ano yung um, store value? So, ano um, paano siya nakaka-relate sa, interest, no? Store value function of money is presented as LP is equals to function of interest or LP. LP po yung store value function of money is equals to negative HI. It's negative, di ba? Negative or inversely related. So the amount of money held as a store value is inversely related to the rate of interest because money provides no interest return. So investor will thereby hold smaller money balance as the rate of interest increases. Negative yung relationship ni money and the interest because if you're holding money, hindi siya tumutubo, walang interest, di ba? Walang interest rate na makaka-affect either to increase or decrease that money. So, yung store value function ni money is negative. Pag hinahawakan mo lang siya, hindi siya nasa investment or hindi siya ginamit for any business or um, business activity. So, negative yung relationship ng money with interest. That's why investors or businessmen do not like holding money. Gusto talaga nila palaging yung money nagsi-circulate sa business nila. Because if the money is in their hands, there's no interest, um, there's no investment, hindi mag-grow yung money nila. So that's there's a different functions for money. It can be transacted and used to buy goods and services, and it can also be stored. So now, the demand for money function, the combined demand for money function is L is equals to KY. So, manani siya si K is the fraction of income held as an average transaction money balance, and then minus, because negative lagi si money kay interest rate. H is a behavioral coefficient indicating the interest sensitivity of the store value of demand for money. And then I is the interest. So, L is equals to KY minus HI. That's the demand for money function. Take note of this. Demand for money function. Now, I mentioned earlier that money demanded must be equal to money supplied. So, na namang yun. Okay? And paano? Okay, if you look at the graph here on the side, you can see that the money supply, this one M hat, is vertical lang. It does not depend on anything or any factors. Vertical line lang siya. It's because the number of money in circulation in an economy is fixed. If Bangko Sentral, BSP, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas produce this certain amount of money in the economy. So yun lang siya, naka-fix yung money supply. So money supply does not depend on any real interest rate. While money demand naman, it slopes downward with higher eye attractiveness of money as an asset decreases. And asset market equilibrium occurs at the intersection of MS and MT curve. So ito pong mga nag-intersect, yun yung mga different equilibriums in the LM schedule. So when the MD increases, people sell non-monetary assets, their price falls, and the interest rate increases. So if yung money demand increases, pag tumataas yung demand ng mga tao when it comes to money, people sell non-monetary assets, their price falls and the interest rate increases. So you can see the relationship in this LM schedule. We can see it more clearly in this slide. So the LM curve is locus points that traces the combinations of interest rates and output where demand for money equals the money, equals the supply for money. So, pag pinlat po yun siya, yung interest rate, pag tumaas in I1 from its previous nga I sub 0, so makikita natin na ang output tumataas din siya when interest increases because tumaas yung interest, mas madami yung investments, tataas yung output. And then, nakabaliktaran naman, pag bumaba yung interest dito, mas lesser yung manghihiram ng money, gagamit ng money, mas bababa yung output. Okay. So, as I've said po ganiha, LM curve is upward sloping. An increase in income raises money demand. And since the supply of real balances is fixed, there will be an excess demand in the money market at the initial interest rate. The interest rate must rise to restore equilibrium in the money market. Now, shifting LM, the LM will shift if there's a change in money supply. Only if there's a change in money supply. Okay, so if there's a change in the money supply, example is this graph in this below from M sub 0 for the first money supply. If the money supply changes to M sub 1, the LM will also have a change or it will shift, no? So an increase in M in money supply shifts LM rightwards, and then a decrease in M shifts LM leftward. Changes in money demand functions, behavioral H and K affect the location of LM. So if may changes sa behavioral H and K sa value, the store value function at transaction demand function, yung changes will be in the location of LM. But if there is a change in money supply, there will be a shift in LM. So this is a much clearer version of the graph earlier. You can pause this video so that you can understand the content of the graph. Okay, so with that, the new condition, equilibrium condition, is in the money market will be if LM is equals to if LM is L is equals to M, L is KY minus HI, and M is money supply here. If we want to separate Y, bilhin si Y, or yung output, we will transfer K in the other side, so multiply siya on both sides. So we'll have the LM equation Y is equals to money supply divided by K plus H divided by K multiplied to interest rate. And with this LM equation, we will now have the slope of LM, that is interest is equals to K divided by H multiplied by Y minus M divided by H. And this means that a decrease in H increase the slope of LM, with the curve becoming vertical when H is equal to 0. So as H takes larger value, LM is less steeply sloped. Okay, you can answer this activity now, and we will be checking this on our next face-to-face class. So you can pause this video and copy the questions. Okay. Gamay na lang yun siya. Just to wrap everything up from IS to LM. We have now the simultaneous equilibrium in the money and goods market. So both na, tapos na po tayo sa IS, sa goods market, and then tapos na din tayo sa money market or sa LM. We can now calculate the simultaneous equilibrium between the money and goods market. So it only exists at one output and one rate of interest. Oh, I hope you get now the link between the goods market and money market. So the consumption, investment, and government spending determines Y, and that Y is money demand depends on Y, or the income or the output. And then in the money market naman, money demand is equals to money supply, and it determines R, or interest rate, and investment depends on RR, interest rate. So the link between the goods market and money market is that planned investment, or I, depends on interest rate, and money demand depends on aggregate output. So I hope you get now the equilibrium between the goods market and the money market, or in shortcut, the ISLM model. Okay, you can also answer this activity now. We will check this together with activity 5 on our next face-to-face class. So that's the end of the ISLM model. I hope you learned a lot because we discussed a lot about IS and LM. And ILM will be included in your final, so make sure to answer the following activities for your offsite learning, because this will surely be in your final examination. So if you have further clarifications, you can personally message me. Thank you very much for being with me in this video discussion. See you soon in our next face-to-face classes. Goodbye, everyone.